Just quickly going over a couple formations. I have a playbook here on offense called issues. And most of these issues have been all of the formations I've seen quarters have troubles to. So we'll talk about quarters first, and then we'll jump into palms quickly after that. But just in general, when you play quarters versus a bunch formation, okay? We've talked about this in my past videos. And if you don't know, just stick around and I'm going to go over all the adjustments once I feel like the game is patched, because I feel like the game might have to be patched. But the box check is not working the way it used to. I'm not sure if it's because they're trying to change the way box is played so that it can cover everything or at least cover some of the issues. I feel like there are some route issues that happened last year that don't happen anymore. However, though, we've opened up a whole new box of issues. On the left side of the screen, we're getting an aggressive corner, and sometimes he's going to end up trying to chase number three across the field instead of the safety playing that. So that's one of the issues that we see a lot of. If you ever get a play, which I've seen out of I think it's the Chiefs playbook, where number one stays one and runs what do you call it? An out route. The safety, who usually goes now for some reason covers the seam routes usually, he is now going and covering the out route as you saw there. So there's just some issues here, and I would just stay out of quarters versus bunch right now. And if you call palms, it's the same thing because it usually converts to the same coverage, which is called box. That's the adjustment that we all knew and loved from back in the day. But the way they're assigned, the way it's working right now, they tried to, I think, fix something, but they might have broken some basic routes that can't be covered. So let me also flip the play. Oops, let me do this again. Let me just flip the same play, same formation, bunch formation. Doesn't matter if it's a wide bunch. Doesn't matter if it's a close bunch. Um, just want to just show you how it's different on the other side. The right side actually plays a little bit more clean. It plays a little bit more like last year. But on this play here, we're in pretty good shape. It's not really nothing's really nothing's really wide open here. All right, so this kind of plays like last year. The only thing you would have to do is maybe as a three receiver hook player is just kind of protect the quick pass to number two, and just make sure you get in that window so that number 15 doesn't catch the ball right here. But overall, this is pretty good. This is how it played last year. Okay, now if for some reason a team was to give you though one stays one outside and runs that spray release out, what I call, which is a 10-yard out with that outside vertical release. Look at the circle button. If somebody was to do this to you, what happens unfortunately is it kind of bugs out a little bit the outside corner, and now the seam route's wide open. All right. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of this. I would just highly suggest until they patch it right now to just not worry about playing quarters to bunch. Um, you guys are smart enough and know you can come up with your own solutions to maybe fix this stuff. But right now there's so much on our plate to remember. If you still want to be a quarters guy, to just basically put into your brain, let's hold off on playing quarters and palms to bunch. All right. There are routes that it covers very well, and you'll be very happy with it, but you don't want to lose a game because the game is broken. Okay. Now let's jump into another problem that I've seen, and this is specific only to quarters. Quarters coverage is giving us a problem when two goes to the flat to the versus empty. The corner jumps the flat route. Okay. So again, I'll repeat. The formation problem here, this only happens when it's empty formation, all right? 3-by-2 spread to the passing strength side, which is over here where the three receivers are. The corner, for some reason, triggers and comes down and matches the flat route of number two. So only if number two goes to the flat like this is a curl flat play, he ends up not covering one. So if I was to run this play again and I put number one in the streak, right? What you're seeing is that now nobody's covering number one. The safety ended up heading in that direction, but he's actually not covering him. Watch, I'll do it again. So that's a problem. This is very specific only to quarters coverage. If you come out in palms, you're fine. If the offense comes out in a 2x2 set or 3x1 set spread, you're fine. All right. So the corner plays it fine if it's, let me just make sure you guys believe me here. If I come out in just a 3x1 set and I put number 2 to the flat, I'll put 1 vertical, I'll put even, this is going to give you the coverage you want. Okay. It's not going to glitch out on you. So it's only versus spread empty, and it's only to the passing strength. Okay. Away from the passing strength, it was perfectly fine over here. Let me just show you. Looking on the left of the screen, our corner is still there, and we're fine. Okay. So if you get empty, don't play quarters. All right. I mean, again, there's a chance that you'll be fine because 2 doesn't go to the flat, but I would just stay away from quarters versus empty, which is to me not one of the better ways to play empty anyway. All right. Let's take a look at something real quick out of a 2 tight end set formation. This is a specific play to the Pittsburgh Steelers playbook. This is more of just a recognition of how stacks are playing right now. I have a theory how stacks are playing, and we'll make a separate video on that. It's not the worst thing in the world. I have a theory, but it looks like the corners are being very aggressive on 2 to the flat. Okay. Everything else, usually they just take the first vertical to the outside, um, or they may lock the first guy who comes off the line of scrimmage. But these 2 guys are working in unison pretty well. The safety will take the inside, he'll take the outside. However, unfortunately, after playing against the Steelers offensive playbook, I noticed that this play right here, for some reason, I think it's called curl. I'll look at it again. Something curl drag. Nobody covers the inside post route. I don't know why. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that's just something to think about. If you get this formation right now, you might want to get out of quarters or palms. It would play the same. Again, the safety looks like he's there. He's in position to cover it, but he just comes off of that player. Okay. And this is one of those, again, the programming to the left side of screen has been completely, I think, like revamped, or at least it's showing up that way. Maybe it's not the case, but it's showing up that way because if I took this play and I did it the other way to the right side of screen, the safety naturally plays a lot more aggressive over here. They actually switched that play. I apologize. Again, I told you the rules between the corner and the safety, I don't have it down 100% yet, but usually they will either lock or they will wait for the guys to come to them. It looks like right now they locked this one, right? So the corner, again, he's coming over here and trying to get to number 11. He gets there a little bit late, but he's okay. I can live with that. But in general, they will cover this play on the right side of the screen, but for some reason on the left side of the screen, they wouldn't. So just understand that if you get that formation, which right here is single back wing stack, okay, it's out of the Pittsburgh playbook. I don't know what other playbooks might have it. Curl post drag. If it's just like it is on the screen right now to the left side, that's where the formation is. You're going to get a bust if you come out in quarters or palms, okay? Because palms are checked to the same thing. Let me just show you. If we came out in palms and we came out over here, I'll leave it into the boundary. It's not a boundary problem or anything like that. It's not a divider rule problem because the left side of the screen always does the same check that you normally get. Let me just take a look at that because the corner did jump him. He's really late though. Yeah, nobody has him. Okay, so again, that's a big issue. I hate to have you guys remember all this stuff, but that's the huge issue in quarters coverage or palms coverage versus that formation. All right. The next thing that we'll talk about is specific to palms coverage, and this is a major one. All right. What I'll do here is just give you palms, and I'm going to show you the issue that we're getting with the palms player. So we always talk about this, doesn't matter what one does, but our palms player, which is the 3x1 set, is the nickel. And in this case, this is the strong safety. If 2 and 3 go vertical like they are here, the nickel's responsibility is to match 2, stay over the top if he can, and go down the field with them. However, it looks like right now that he will run with him for a few steps, and if for some reason you have any time in the pocket, he will come off. So it looks like he runs with him for about 20 yards and then just decides to not cover his man, which I don't understand why. This is absolutely a bug, but that's absolutely a one play touchdown. Anytime 2 and 3 are vertical. All right. If it's just 3 vertical here, we know the safety is going to take 3. That shouldn't be a problem, right? There's nothing crazy going on there. And then obviously, if we had only 2 going vertical, your palms player is not going to be responsible for 2 by himself. So your safety would be there and run down the field. Okay. So that's fine. But a quick solution to this is to user the nickel and have to play the palms rules with your user. I'm sorry to say it, but you're gonna have to probably do that. All right. And it kind of works out because um, anytime we are playing palms right now and we're getting the good old shock H option play or a fade of 2 and what do you call it? Hitch of 1, you're gonna get the same problem that you've had in about 2 Maddens ago, where your your strong safety here, for some reason against this little hitch route, gets kind of caught up. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because it's an option route, but he doesn't get over to cover number 2. I'm talking about the strong safety should now be covering number 2 because there's no 2 and 3 vertical. It's just only 1 vertical. And he gets caught up with his footwork and is late as heck. And then you can see what's going on here. He shouldn't have to follow this guy, but if he did, I wouldn't be mad. But he does the worst thing where he pretends like he's going to follow him and then falls off. So that's horrible. All right, let me just take a look at something real quick. If I did, do you want to just see if it's any better? Yeah, you know what? I was going to say that the safety is influenced by the stick route. Doesn't matter. I mean, for some reason he's just really slow to get over to number 2. So unfortunately, you see the safety back there. He's just really kind of lollygagging and just coming inside. So he's not going to be able to get back out to number 2 no matter what. Last year they had this play pretty much fixed, but now it's like rebroken. I'm not sure what happened, but you can kind of play with the nickel and understand that you're not going to get any help. And even though this is not your responsibility, I would just say, hey, I got all of 2 if he goes vertical, which might make life even easier. So you don't have to wait for number 3 to go vertical as well. You could just say, I have 2 and I'm going to rock out with that. So that's one way to kind of make your life easier and still allow you to play some palms to 3x1, all right? Or 3 by nub, trips nub type of formations. Now, let me just double check quickly here. I know that was an issue, and that's an issue for palms. But let me just take a look at here with quarters. Should play out a lot better. I think the safety's going to get out there. Yeah, quarters is fine. So quarters is very viable still to this play. I don't think it's going to, with the safety, especially with the right safety, he seems a lot smarter this year. Right of screen safety. Again, it could be a million other reasons, but that's what I'm going with right now. So this is the second video I actually did, but this is the more comprehensive video of the issues I've seen so far in quarters and in palms. If you guys have any questions, please DM me, respond to me, leave a comment, and we will get things cleaned up even better. It's not the end of the world for you quarters guys. I'm one of them too. I'm still going to run it, and I'm going to just have to watch out for what we talked about right now until there's a patch. All right, guys? Thanks for listening to the video. Look for a new one coming out real soon, probably today or tomorrow. All right? Talk to you soon.